Welcome to the CarCast. Today we are podcasting from my Subaru Outback, complete with stuff in the back seat from having a lake day. I actually tried recording this out on the pontoon at the lake, but there are kids playing in the lake, there are pontoons going by, there are neighbors playing the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Insert clip of that here. The neighbors are playing the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I feel like I need to stop and salute and if only we made Whitefish Bay. I should have just put 15 more miles behind her. So I decided, you know what, I really want to get this episode done and I'm not going to let my environment stop me from creating this content that I want to. So I'm going to practice what I preach and I'm going to record in my car. So you're getting a car cast today as we are parked at my parents' lake spot, as that is where I am hanging out. But today's podcast, I want to talk about Jimothy the Raccoon, who is taking over my feed, everyone's For You pages. Everybody loves this little weird, deformed raccoon. And I think that this little weird, deformed raccoon can teach us a lot about podcasting. Like, there are some hidden lessons in Jimothy's existence and popularity that we can apply to podcasting. So that is what we are going to do today, is we're going to talk about lessons from Jimothy for podcasting, because he is small, but he is mighty. So the first lesson that we are learning from Jimothy the Raccoon is that at first, when you start something or you become something, in his case, a small deformed raccoon, in your case, a podcaster, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel weird and different, and you might feel a little out of place because you don't necessarily know what you're doing, whether that is learning how to navigate the world by missing half of your spine, or if you're just learning how to podcast, if you're learning how to have a conversation with you and a camera, or learning how to talk into a microphone, or figuring out editing for the first time, you're going to feel weird. You're going to feel different. You're going to feel like you don't belong. But it's important to power through those feelings, because life is all about getting past those and having new experiences and feeling a little out of place sometimes. That's what makes the human experience human, is having those things. Like, we don't all just naturally start out one day as experts. We don't come out of the womb as perfect podcasters. We don't come out of the womb as perfect raccoons sometimes. So what we're learning from Jimothy in lesson 1 is that it's going to feel weird. You're going to feel different, but you really need to push through that. The next lesson our dear sweet Jimothy is teaching us about podcasting is that when you first get started and you push past, people might double take when they find out what you're doing or what you're all about. Like, remember the first time you saw Jimothy and you're like, wait, what was that? Like, what? You're confused. You didn't know what it was. You didn't know how to process what you're seeing, what you're experiencing. I think that we all had that with Jimothy, and we have that with new endeavors, right? When we see our friend trying something new, we're all like, wait, you're doing what now? What? People are going to have that reaction to you, and it's important to not let that get to you, because like we talked about in lesson 1, you're having this new human experience. You're trying something for the first time. And the key word there is you're trying. You're being brave enough to take a bet on yourself and try something new. And people are going to go, wait, you're doing what? You have a podcast about what? What are you talking about? And let them have that reaction, because they're not the ones putting themselves out there and being brave and being a cute little raccoon just existing in the world. You're going to get that double take, but don't let the double take stop you from doing what you believe in. And honestly, that double take might come with some judgments. People might be going, oh, like once they double take and they get locked in on what you're doing, they might have some judgments about what you're doing. Like, who does she think she is? Who does he think he is? Why do they think they're the expert in something? They're not qualified for that. They're not an expert podcaster. They're not a real raccoon. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're being brave. You're taking a bet on yourself. You're putting yourself out there. They can double take. Let them judge you, because it says so much more about them than it ever will say about you. The third lesson we can take from Jimothy is that people will watch you silently for quite some time. Jimothy has actually been around. Let's find out. How old is Jimothy the Raccoon? Jimothy the Raccoon is between 1 and 2 years old. Veterinarians and wildlife experts believe the Seattle-based viral star was born around the spring of 2025. He's famous for his rare spinal defect. He is super cute, but he's been around for a while. And when is he going viral on the internet? Right now, it is July 19th, 2026, and this is the week of Jimothy on the internet. So, people are going to sit and they're going to silently watch you for a while. How many videos have you seen lately of little itty bitty baby Jimothy, like sitting there with his mom taking such good care of him? She is such a good mom. And she's taking care of this small little rotund raccoon. And people were just filming this silently. And now, all of a sudden, because it's cool and popular, these videos are populating on the internet like crazy. So, for a year and a half, we all silently watched Jimothy and his family existing in the world, not really sharing about it, not really doing anything about it. There's going to be a lot of silent lurkers when it comes to your podcast. Your fan base, if you're not starting out with an already established audience, it's going to start pretty small. It's going to be a pretty tight circle, but when it expands and the right people start talking about it in the right rooms to the right people, sharing it with friends, sharing it with family, sharing it with colleagues, that's when that reach just continues to expand and expand and expand. So like Jimothy, it was a slow start. I didn't know about Jimothy last year when he was just an itty bitty baby, but now I know all about Jimothy because the right people were silently watching all this time and now finally sharing it with the right audiences. So when you start your podcast, do not be discouraged if you're not getting engagement right off the hook, if you're not getting the downloads you want, if you're not getting the followers on social media that you want, if you're not getting the comments on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the places, because it just takes the right person sharing it with the right platform for it to explode. Savor that silence, sit with it, be okay with it, and let people silently watch you. Because trust me, they're watching. And the last lesson I think we can all take from Jimothy and apply to podcasting is that you can become iconic just for being yourself. This is a vermin we are obsessed with. It is a raccoon, a trash panda. These things carry rabies, and the internet is in love with Jimothy just because he's himself, because he's different. He is not your normal run-of-the-mill raccoon. He's got this stubby little tail, his spine is a circle, he's just this like lump of cute raccoon fur, and it's just a raccoon. Like, he is just a wild raccoon. He's not in a zoo or anything. We're just all obsessed with him because he is uniquely himself. And I think your audience is going to fall in love with you for the exact same reason. They're going to love your podcast because you are uniquely you. You are the only person who has your perspective on life. You are the only person who has lived your life, who has had your experiences, who can translate them into lessons or stories or entertainment. You are you, and there is only one of you, and you can become iconic just for being you. Think about any other famous figure in the past. Remember Punch, the little baby monkey who was getting bullied by all the other monkeys in that enclosure over in Japan? We all loved Punch because Punch was uniquely him. He was a sweet little guy who was getting picked on. He was the underdog, and we all rallied around him because he was him. Your favorite celebrities are the same way. Jenna Marbles is someone who comes to mind for me. She was a huge inspiration for me growing up. I loved her YouTube channel. I loved her Jenna and Julian podcast she did. She was just an amazing content creator. And what she did was just hop on the internet every single week and be herself. Like, almost to a fault. Like, she shaved her eyebrows and dyed her hair so many times and did so many weird things to her face and body, but it was just in the name of being herself and being uniquely her. And it inspired an entire generation of people to also just be themselves and share their experience with the internet, share it with the world, and you find your audience by being truly, authentically, uniquely you. So that's my last lesson I think we can learn from Jimothy, and there might be more in the future if I come up with some and see things, but I think that is huge, is just you can become iconic for just being you and sharing your experiences with the world. You will find your people if you put your story out there. So that's what I got for you this week for my podcast. This was not a planned episode. I had something totally different planned for this show this week. I had it edited, I had it scheduled, the whole 9 yards, but we're blowing it up to talk about a raccoon because I am obsessed with Jimothy. I think he is awesome. I just love that little guy so much. And I just hope that you take even one of these lessons and apply it to your own podcast, getting it started out in the world, and just being true to yourself. And if you see any cool videos of Jimothy that you think I haven't seen or you think I should see, send them my way because I love animal videos on the internet. And if you're looking for help getting started with your podcast, be sure to sign up for the waitlist for the Bet on Yourself podcast coaching program. I got the link to sign up for the waitlist down in the bio. And of course, you can work with me deeper as well at abbeygraves.productions.com. I'll catch you next week.